Welcome back to Omni Garage. So behind me I have a car that we ceramic coated maybe not quite a year ago. It's not maintained that well, and what we can see is that the lower half of the vehicle, the hydrophobics have started to disappear. And so this car was ceramic coated with CSL top with EXO V4. V5, Glenn tells me behind the camera, which is a G-Technic coating that we use here at Omni Garage. And so what could be happening here is that either the ceramic coating has failed or the ceramic coating needs to be rejuvenated, and I think it's going to need to be rejuvenated. And so there could be lots of things happening there. So maybe a lot of road grime, a lot of traffic film has basically clogged the pores of the ceramic coating. There's potentially a whole heap of minerals that have also started to clog it up. And so what we need to do is we need to start and unclog the ceramic coating and see if we can bring back the hydrophobics of the lower half of the car in particular. And so what I've got in front of me here is basically two brands. I've got Detail Co and I've got Labocosmetica. And so what we're going to do is we're going to basically work out how we can restore the properties of the ceramic coating, and we're also going to work out which brand does this better. And so what we have here is we have Detail Co Hard Wash, which is their high pH, and we have Labocosmetica Primus 2.0, which is also their high alkaline wash. And what we're going to do is we're going to spray that onto the panel, we're going to let it dwell, and we're going to rinse it off. And hopefully the reason behind using a high alkaline wash is that it should start to break down the dirt and grime, the organic matter that's on there, and that traffic film, start to break that down and hopefully remove that from the panel. We'll see then when we do a rinse if our ceramic coating has had the hydrophobic properties restored. If it hasn't, probably we need to do some mechanical agitation to help remove deep and do like a deep cleanse to remove that organic matter. And then we'll rinse again and see if we restored the hydrophobics. If we haven't, then we need to move on to the more acidic wash, which is a low pH. And so they have one from Detail Co and also one from Labocosmetica. And the low acidic wash will hopefully break down and remove the minerals that are embedded on that ceramic coating and unlock the pores. And then we'll rinse, see if it's removed it. If not, we might need to do a little bit of mechanical agitation and then rinse the panel. And hopefully, if the ceramic coating is still good, we should then see our hydrophobics come back and we should restore the properties of what it was like when we first applied the ceramic coating to the surface of this vehicle.
So what we're going to show you here before we get started is the current water behaviour or lack of water behaviour we're seeing from the ceramic coating. So if you spray on there, good. And what you can see, it's pretty much all that middle to lower section of the door where the water is not beading at all. That's where we're trying to restore the properties of the ceramic coating. And you can see it's pretty similar behaviour on the front and the back door of the car here.
And this is typically going to be the part of the car that gets hit the hardest. This is the place where all the dirt and grime is going to get hit the hardest. This is where all the road foam is going to stick to the car. This is where all that water wash is going to come up from the wheels and hit the most. And so that's the area of the car typically where you see that the hydrophobic properties of a ceramic coating basically start to get affected first.
So we've got our products all lined up here, ready to go, and we're going to go with...
We'll put Labocosmetica on the front and we'll put Detail Co products on the back.
So we're starting here with the Labocosmetica. This is Primus 2.0 that we're using.
So we have diluted both of these products just to the recommended level on the back of the bottle. So we're just following the company's instructions here. We're going to foam from bottom up, let that dwell, and then we'll rinse off and we'll show you if there's been any improvement.
So it's a Labocosmetica product on the car. And then we've got the Detail Co. This is the high pH soap that we're about to use right here. And it's called Hard Wash. Now we're going to allow both of these products to dwell for a few minutes. We're operating today at 17 degrees Celsius. We're not in direct sunlight, so we don't need to chase ourselves here. We can allow these to sit on the paint and have some reasonable dwell time to start working their way One of the things you can notice on these two products is there's definitely a clear difference in the actual makeup and how the foam is delivered onto the surface. The Labocosmetica product is a little bit finer, and you'll see it's pretty uniform in the runoff here. It's been on the surface for over a minute so far, whereas the hard wash from Detail Co is a bit clumpier. It's a bit of a thicker foam, and both of these are at the recommended dilution rate as well, so we haven't made anything up here, but definitely a difference in the consistency.
And so why we let these dwell is that the whole reason for doing a bit of a pre-foam is that you want to get that foam onto the surface. You want it to start to break down that organic matter. We want to remove the big chunks of dirt. We want to remove the grit and anything else that can easily be removed from the surface of the vehicle before we come into our contact wash. The reason for that is that when we touch the paint, we have the increased likelihood of marring and scratching the surface. So the more we can remove without touching it, the better. I can tell you now, neither of these products are going to clean that surface really nicely, like a touchless base product. They're not going to do that. We are going to have to do some manual agitation. We are going to have to do some work. But what I would like to see is try and get rid of some of that grit and some of that risk of putting scratches onto the surface when we do come and touch it.
We've allowed these to dwell for a few minutes, and as you can see, what we're talking about with that consistency of the foam, we have a lot more of a hard wash still sitting on the surface versus the Labocosmetica. And Glenn's going to come along now with the pressure washer and rinse both of these doors.
Okay, so now that soap's had time to dwell, we've also rinsed it away. I'll show you if any of the hydrophobics have been restored. And I think what you can see there is it clearly hasn't. We might have a little bit more shedding of the water, but definitely not those tight water beads that you would expect from a ceramic coating as if it was applied new. And so what we have here is we have a bit of a predicament that we're in, and so this bottom half of the ceramic coating is still clogged, so we need to continue to unclog it. I'll get some tissue paper and I'll show you if we've removed any of the dirt. So this is the most scientific experiment you will find on the internet, especially on YouTube, the paper towel test. I'm going to take a swipe here. We've already done some swiping before, so I'll just swipe some areas that we haven't been at before. That tells you that there is still a lot of dirt, a lot of road film, a lot of grime left on the surface of the car, and same again here. Same again there. And so this is why that ceramic coating is still appearing to not shed or not bead any waters, because it's still clogged. So before we move on to our acidic wash, we need to remove all this dirt and grime from the surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to refoam with our high alkaline soap. We've got them both in the bucket. We're going to mechanically agitate the surface and hopefully remove that dirt and grime so that then we can then have our acidic wash go down. And the acidic wash needs to have a nice clean surface so that it can start to eat away and break down those minerals.
Okay, so the most important thing here now is that you don't actually need to use the matching soap to what you foamed on the car in your bucket. So you could have a pH neutral here. For the purpose of this video though, we did match it up. We've got the Labocosmetica, we've got the Detail Co product, but you can go with any pH neutral or high pH, whatever you want in here. And what we're going to do is just lightly agitate and remove some of that dirt and grime that you can see from that previous clip. And this should go a long way to unclogging the pores of the paint, which should mean that when we go and introduce that next soap, we'll get an even better result.
Which soap feels the slickest here?
Do you know what, slickness wise, I think the Detail Co.
Yeah?
Yep, the Detail Co has a slicker feel. This one here feels like I am abrasing the surface a little bit more.
And so that's important to note, because you want to be using a soap that's got good slickness, because you know this is the point where you're putting some marring and scratching on the surface. So a slicker soap means that you're going to have more or less chance of having abrasions with the mitt.
And as you can see on the mitt here, we do have a lot of dirt. That was probably picked up from doing the rocker there. But as you can see, a soap like this cannot be used standalone. You do have to mechanically agitate it. Now this is the real part of the test where we'll start to see if these products are having any impact on the performance and characteristics of our ceramic coating. So we'll rinse again. So I think what we can see there is the performance is actually pretty similar to prior to doing that mechanical decontamination. Maybe a little bit better again, but definitely not night and day difference on either of these
So go
panels.
grab some paper tissue and see if the surface is clean. See if we've removed that, that road film.
All right, so we'll test on this rear door first. There we go. So we've got a clean surface on the back there, and that's the importance of the mechanical action and cleaning. And same on that front door there as well. So we've got no dirt left on the surface. So now we can introduce the next part of the system.
So now that we have a nice clean surface, we've proved to you that we've removed all the organic stuff on there, all the road film and stuff. We now can come in with our acidic wash. So what I have here is I have the Labocosmetica low pH wash.
And then on the back of the car, we're going to have the Detail Co low pH wash. And the key difference here is this is not a spray on, rinse off, respray, then agitate. We are spraying this on, and then we have the same products. So we've tipped out the buckets, we've remade them again with the purifier and the low pH soap, and we're going to go and wash the car in a traditional format now. And we know we're not washing with the view that we're trying to remove dirt or grime. We are washing with the view that we want to essentially remove any type of mineral deposits that may be clogging up that coating. What do you find slickness now?
This isn't that slick. This is definitely not as slick as a, you know, a really nice low pH everyday wash. This is a little grabby on here. And it is important to know that you could use, definitely on the Labocosmetica website, you could use Semper as their low pH wash, as their sort of neutral pH wash soap that you use all the time. You can use this in the bucket for this step. That's not going to have any effect on the ability of this acidic wash to break down the minerals on the surface. And this is the Detail Co side. I think if I'm going to be super critical, I think again the Detail Co low pH wash is slightly slicker.
Okay, so it's interesting. So both of the Detail Co products, we're finding a slicker. Okay, final rinse off now. I'm actually a little bit nervous to see what the results are looking like here. I'm really hoping that we're going to have restored some of the properties of these ceramic coatings. We're top to bottom, bottom's top. Doesn't really make a difference right now. We'll keep it the bottom to top.
I think it looks like it's restored. I mean, we haven't got the tight water beading, but definitely that shedding is happening a lot quicker.
And particularly in this area of the door here, that would sit, like, watch me spray that. That would have typically sat for a very long time, but that is sheeting away. It's not beading away, that is sheeting away very, very quickly there. I'm pretty happy on the front door that we've restored the properties of it. And same goes on the rear door here. We are finding that it is sheeting away. Again, it's not beading quite like it is at the top of the door. So if we spray again here, You don't get those same beading properties, but the sheeting is far quicker and it is disappearing there.
Spray both of them side by side. I just want to see which one's done a better job. It looks like the Labocosmetica has definitely won. Like,
well, I mean,
spray that again and
look at the
watch.
speed. Look at the speed that this disappears. I think the Labocosmetica has done a fantastic job. I think the Detail Co has done a really good job, but I think when you look at the speed that both of these disappear from the surface right now, both have performed the objective that we wanted to, which is restoring the properties of the ceramic coating. One just seems to be doing it a little bit quicker and a little bit better, but I don't think you could go wrong with either of these sets from either Detail Co or Labocosmetica.
So there you have it. You've seen the results of both these products on this vehicle in our attempt to try and restore some degree of hydrophobics to the ceramic coating. I think we've done an okay job at bringing back the hydrophobics. We've definitely made that panel shed the water a lot quicker. Is it tight beading like it was when it was brand new? Absolutely not. But I think we've had an improvement in the hydrophobics. So that tells us that this ceramic coating was definitely clogged with a whole heap of organic matter, road grime, and also there were a whole bunch of minerals also on that panel as well. And so I think these products together have done a pretty decent job of giving us some water shedding. Now, to determine which one was better over the other, it's pretty hard to tell. We definitely found that the Detail Co range of products definitely felt a lot slicker with our contact wash, but then we also probably think that the Labocosmetica range has made the front panel have slightly better water shedding. But that's totally our personal opinion, and it's definitely up to you for which one you want to go up and pick up and use. But that's the process of how you use a high pH and a low pH wash system to try and improve the hydrophobics of your ceramic coating. I think this highlights a very important issue here, is that if you've got a ceramic coated vehicle, that does not mean that you can then not wash it for months and months on end. I think if you don't wash your car for 6 months, then it's going to be even harder for you to try and restore that ceramic coating. It's going to be even harder to try and bring that ceramic coating back to having some really nice hydrophobics. So I think we can hone in on that point there and say that you need to be washing your vehicle very regularly to maintain that ceramic coating, and this is just behind us evidence of why you need to do that. So that's it from Omni Garage. Subscribe to the channel because it helps us out make more content and helps us grow so that we can continue to deliver stuff like that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.